Monster Hunter is a great series, and over the years, it has started going more and more into the mainstream with titles such as Monster Hunter World, that even if you didn't know of Monster Hunter before, you at least played this title. And now, with Monster Hunter Rise getting into everyone's hands by releasing on the best-selling handheld console in the past decade, it's no wonder people are starting to notice this once niche game. Monster Hunter has many different weapon types and ways to play. You could have high armor, slow hitting great swords, or you could go ranged with guns and a bow, or you could just bonk everyone with a massive hammer. Use weapons that we don't even know how to create anymore, like the Switch Axe, or my personal bread and butter, the Charge Blade. Or we could use the Weeaboo fighting magics, or better known as the Dual Blades. Or you could be boring and use a sword and shield.
So tasty!
Yes, I know, Sword and Shield's a good weapon with a lot of good uses and very good damage, and it's like B tier in terms of speedruns, but this is a joke. Don't hate me.
One thing is true, no matter what Monster Hunter game you play, you're gonna get hit, and you're gonna get hit a lot. But what if that wasn't the case? What if you could play this game entirely without getting hit at all? So, you know what? Let's make that one true fact not so true. With the recent release of Monster Hunter Rise on PC, I thought, why not try and beat Monster Hunter Rise hitless? So, editing AminTech here. See, all of this footage was done and recorded a while ago, like before Sunbreak released. Oops. See, originally this was meant to be made and uploaded when Sunbreak first came out. See, I kind of missed that window. Let's see, by a year. Oh, well, crap. Happy anniversary, I guess. Oops. But hey, at least it's done. Okay, so here's the rules. 1. Don't take any damage. I mean, not even chip damage. Or anything with elemental damage, like standing on lava or fire, or anything that makes my health bar just go down. 2. No co-op. Although I did make a rule that I was allowed to run with my Palamute and Palico. 3. I could do 1 mandatory gathering key quest per village rank. I'm trying to focus on mainly killing monsters in this run, so that's why we, had that hard cap. But if there's like anything that was a little rough for a key quest, we're allowed to get by with that gathering quest. 4. Farming is completely allowed. However, the rules of the run still do apply. So if we are going for a Malachite quest and we get hit by a Jagras, well, that kind of sucks. We have to toss out all the Malachite we got and restart from square one. And the final rule, beat the game through the village key quest and the run will end as soon as the credits will roll. If any of those rules are broken, I abandon the quest and start from that quest forward. But, that's it. But with these rules in mind, I had to think of a weapon to use. There are 14 weapons in total in this game, and that's a lot of choice, except that really isn't. Maneuverability is super important, so anything that hinders that is out. So that takes out the greatsword, the hammer, the hunting horn, and the switch axe. Then shields are out. See, they're great for not taking damage in a normal run of the game. However, whenever you block, you still take some chip damage, and that validates the run. So that also takes out the charge blades, the lance, and the gun lance. See, melee isn't a bad choice, since it does have some good damage. However, it leaves me open for some quick attacks that could kill the whole run. So that just leaves the light bowgun, the heavy bowgun, and the bow. In testing, I thought the bow would be great since I enjoyed that weapon in World, but it plays slightly differently here and I didn't really mesh with it, so it's not really a no-go. Although I did find out in later playthroughs that you could get a switch art that makes it similar to World, but that will be later in the game and I didn't even get to that point even when I started this playthrough, so I didn't even know that, so that kind of took that out. Even though we still did try it out at the very beginning of this, bow just didn't really do good. Heavy bowgun was great on terms of damage, but it did really slow me down in movement, so that leaves me with 1 weapon, the light bowgun. Throughout this run, you'll see how long it took me to do this run, as well as the resets, and trust me, there are plenty. So with the rules set and the weapon chosen, it's time for the all-important question. Can you beat Monster Hunter Rise without taking any damage? We start with just making our character for this run, obviously naming it AminTech, with our good boys Hunter and Fishbones, with a Z obviously. We run through the town doing the basic, let's get to know the town quests. And after all the basics are out of the way, we go to the hunt tutorial. And at this time, I'm still somewhat undecided on not using the bow, so we use it during this first mission. But not even 5 seconds into this fight,
And we're hit.
I have to reset. Next run, things went a bit smoother, but this is when I noticed not only does the bow require me to be somewhat close to the monster, which is, very dangerous for me, but it also eats away all my stamina, which makes me not even have the stamina to dodge. But for now, that's one quest down. Real quick, let's talk about Key Quest and Urgent Quest. Each village level has a certain amount of key quests that you have to do in order to level up the village. Each key quest are shown by a red star next to it, the quest name. And once the required amount of village key quests are completed, an urgent quest shows up, which you have to do in order to level up the village. Now, the village level is also important, for it dictates unlocking more weapon upgrades, shop items, and new quests. Now that's out of the way, for the next hunt, I have a wise decision. We're switching to the light bowgun. For this next quest, I really wanted to get used to the controls and the new wire bug feature, so I took that gathering quest. It's a super easy, no real danger, so on to the next one. These early quests are normally quite simple, so the next one is 8 Jagras. I'm still trying to fix the controls, so I messed up and I wired into a Jagras.
No! 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 Don't get close!
But luckily, it didn't hit me. Those wire bugs will be the death of me. All around this hunt, I was panicking. I had a Jagras jump right in front of me as soon as I planted a mine, and a second later, a Bullfango charged at me from behind. This was also nerve-wracking, as this was my first challenge run that I've ever done. And look, I have found a love for this, so you're gonna see more of this soon. After a few mess-ups because of my controller, which is becoming a theme throughout this run, I thought it would be best to hop into an expedition just to learn light bowgun and learn how to play on an Xbox controller. Look, I know that sounds dumb, but I played Monster Hunter World on my PS4, and all my other Monster Hunter games have been on handhelds, so messing with the Xbox controller kinda messed me up. After some time in the expedition, I felt somewhat comfortable with the controls. I felt like, it's the time in order to take our first large monster, that also happens to be our first urgent quest, the Great Azuchi.
First comes the Vanguard. Unstoppable tank. Then comes a second, attacking the flank. Finally, the general, the highest in rank. A trio of blades, swift as a gale. They cut to the bone and kill without fail.
Coming into this fight, I was super nervous, since he always came with 2 Azuchi, and I thought I need to keep in mind 3 monster attacks and locations at all times. So that doesn't sound so bad. I mean, I'm a Monster Hunter veteran, I do this all the time, but in this one, getting tagged means resetting, so the stakes are a little bit higher than normal. I went into this fight with the Bone Light Bowgun, which fires a single shot instead of the 3-round burst that we had on the Iron Light Bowgun, which felt a little clunky to me. But the goal of this fight was to burn down the adds just so we could focus on this bigger one. Once we got it to flee to a new zone, I burned down some more small ones so we could get the second camp open on this map for later runs, and boy, did that help me. Like, you don't understand at this point. I didn't even understand at this point how well that's going to help me later on. At the time, I didn't know the mines that I laid down could do more damage if I hit it. So like whenever that white smoke was there and I shot a bullet through that and a monster was near it, it would do damage to the monster. And I didn't even think that that's how that worked. I thought that they actually were the only ones who could trigger it. So if they went in for an attack, they just went smack and it blew up. And I'm like, got it, I understand. So I have to put it in spots where they're going to be attacking. But that puts me in very dangerous situations. But I wanted to do it so I could get more damage on the monster. Overall, this was not a bad hunt. I gave myself a false sense of security that this was going to be a very easy challenge, because like it was super easy for me. See, I saw it was doing a really big hit, so I put down a mine. Oh no, I don't have any mines. It didn't recharge yet. Well, now the hunter has an animation, and now it's shaking the gun, and I can't move, and the monster's just barreling down towards me. Well, there's my first reset. Wait, but right before that hit connects, I roll out of the way, just barely missing me. I turn and get the final few shots, and yes! It finally goes down. Great Izuchi is in the bag, and the first hunt was finally over. You know, this moment right here, you know, a monster that I've hunted like quite a few times, it was actually one of the best moments in my Monster Hunter career. All the adrenaline came into me like a wave, and I knew this was going to be great. And like, I didn't understand that euphoria that could happen when you set yourself up for this really hard challenge, and it works, and it's really cool, and I love it. Then I went down to the town and did some upkeeping. I looked at the armor and some more new things, and I found that I could make the Izuchi weapon. I'm like, cool, I'm gonna equip this one. But now it's the first hunt of the village rank 2.
Roaming hill and dale. A gluttonous brute leaves a sluggish trail. Attempts to sate its hunger prove of no avail. It keeps eating more and more, and with every bite, it succumbs yet further to its destructive appetite.
See, one of the strengths of the light bow gun was status ailments. So I looked at doing some damage over time. I thought, you know, the quicker I could hunt these monsters, you know, the less chance that I have for being hit. So at the start of most fights, I would do 3 to 4 shots of poison. And I always tried to do like a 100% uptime on that. Yeah, it didn't happen like at all. Like I really did try, but I was more panicking of not getting hit. So I didn't do the 100% uptime at all. It was a good start, and we got the poison tick and the solid damage for the start of the game until no. Yeah, I knew that was dumb, especially since this monster loved to charge me. Okay, second attempt was also dumb. No, I was doing great, but he just sauntered over to me and just smacked me. Like I had hours to move out of the way, but I didn't. I don't get it. I don't know why I didn't move. Okay, third attempt. This one's gonna be it. I could. Okay, I guess not. All right. Well, how about? Fuck. No! On my 9th attempt, I did nothing different, and I just hit my head on a brick wall. And after a lot of dodging and way too close for comfort calls, I took him down in about 11 minutes. Cool, another hunt down. Yes!
On a frosty mountain range, far from human haunts, an abominable beast does whatever it wants. Is it hare or is it bear? It is neither, so beware. It will drench the snow with blood and reap nothing but despair.
Lagombi, you know, I thought, since I've been fighting Azurios for so long, that fighting another fanged beast, or, you know, the same exact skeleton as the other one, it would be easy.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, not even 10 seconds in. Look, the second, third, and fourth tries, they go real quick, but no real progress there. On my 5th attempt, I was doing well. I even got a mount. I'm still not used to mounts in this game. They're a lot different from what I'm used to. Normally what you do is you hop on it and then you smack it a couple times until you get a chance for this really big hit. But in this one, you have to hop on it and basically ride it into a wall or into another monster. I didn't know that. So running through this was a little different for me, and I had like a curve that I needed to get past. In this middle of this run, I thought that maybe I should try to farm for mats so I could get capturing monsters.
We really need to get some capture stuff. We haven't gotten to the point where we were able to capture and then failed, but we might be getting to that point soon. No!
I just had to curse myself, didn't I? The 6th run was a long hunt, but ultimately I failed.
No!
Okay, so 7th run. With the idea of capturing still in the back of my mind, thinking, you know, maybe that it just might cut down on the hunt time and I had a chance of not getting hit, I could, you know, just start capturing the monsters. Yeah, I completely ignored that thought and just went right back into the fight. You know, I don't listen to anyone, like, including myself. I started getting better at switching ammo on the fly and knowing what times to reload and not reload, and overall I just becoming a better light bow gun hunter here. After 7 runs with this guy, I finally took him down with good timing and dodges and good use of all my ammo in only 8 minutes 50 seconds. Yeah, that's not bad for this stupid dumb rabbit bear.
Yes!
All done.
Running into the darkness. Fangs snapping at your heels. When at last you stop to rest, a quick look around reveals you walked straight into a nest littered with previous meals. Don't stop. Don't linger. Don't sleep in this den. For the beast will find you, and you'll never wake again.
Okay, so I needed a little bit of a break. So I decided that, you know, since we had such an easy time with the Zuchi, I thought maybe going back to a bird wyvern would be nice and relaxing after, you know, the annoyance of the past 2 monsters.
Nope.
Yeah, of course. Why wouldn't it give me something easy? So once again, I wasn't the brightest and I still haven't got anything to capture it yet. So that's on me.
No!
The first run, I thought I was doing well, you know, with not so close calls until at this point, I listened to myself.
Well, it looks like we're going to do the small quest to start learning how to capture.
And, you know, I wanted to take a quick break, so I decided to do the capture quest so I could get the traps and the tranks in the shop. Yes, they are actually in the shop right now, but for some reason I thought it wasn't. Look, I just also needed just a break. It was being annoying and I just needed something to calm my nerves. But this definitely wasn't it. I don't...
Ravenous monsters, their eyes shining bright. Courageous hunters, looking for a fight. This is where they clash, their spirits alight.
You know what's worse? It was an Azurios. Like, come on, of all the things that it was an Azurios?
Place a trap.
No! Honestly, it should not have been as bad as it was. It took me way too much time to do this dumb quest I didn't even need to do. But, you know, on my third run, I finally finished it and I could start capturing monsters. I got some of the items that I needed. I loaded up onto my ammo and my gear, and I realized armor is kind of useless in this run because if I get hit by anything, it doesn't matter even if I get one shot. So I'm not really going to be focusing on armor anymore. The only time that I'm going to start looking at armor is if they have good skills for the weapon and the stuff that I'm using, which I do change up some armor later on, but we'll get to them later on. So after all of that, we're like, okay, let's do another run of the Great Baggy. Okay, so the 4th run went really well. I had more confidence for actually finishing the capture quest, and the skill as a light bowgun user was starting to show a little bit more with headshot after headshot and getting knockouts with sticky ammo. I was doing much better. Man, I was in the groove until that I saw that it was capturable, and it ran to a new zone, and it gave me the best chance to set a trap and get the trank ammo ready. So I lured it over, and yep, there's our first capture of the challenge, but absolutely not the last. Hey look, the Great Baggy is bagged. The next part of the town was unlocked, and I could do a little bit more things as I ran around seeing all the sights. But the most important thing was the submarine. I could request items, and every quest that I complete, it would give me some of that one item. See, I was planning on using this to get me more ammo so I didn't have to pay for every bit of ammo that I would spend, but that didn't actually work out. I kind of, started using it for other materials. But, for now, let's go on to the next urgent quest.
A bamboo forest at night. The sound of dancing is heard. Resembling a parasol, but in truth a monstrous bird. Be wary of its figure and its vibrant hue. For once its collar opens, a rain of blood will ensue.
Okay, time for the parasol bird. See, this fight is way different from whatever fight we had before. Not only can it pseudo fly, but it also shoots fire randomly, and it runs in random directions, which, that makes it kind of hard to dodge. To add to that, it puts its head down and charges with its head flared, and that makes it have a super large hitbox. And yeah, this was kind of a hard hunt.
No, you son of a...
So on my 8th try, I went in super salty that I needed, the gamer move, and I leaned forward and I just stared at my screen so angry. While watching these hunts back, there were several things that I could improve, such as mounting correctly, using endemic life, at all, and not meleeing the monster in the middle of a hunt with a light bowgun. Like, I have been hunting this dumb monster for like an hour, fail after fail, and I thought, yeah, let's hop on my dog and smack the fucking bird with, very fast attacks and risk a good run. Look, I know I'm salty, but what the hell? And what's even worse is I wrote this, watching this fight, thinking like, oh yeah, I wouldn't have done this anymore. This was just me being salty. No, it's not. You're gonna see throughout the rest of this stupid video that I just want to bonk every monster in the head with my light bowgun. That is the opening move that I have for the majority of these fights. I am so salty at myself. I don't understand why I would do this. In a no-hit run, I would run up to a monster and smack it. Why? I don't understand. I don't get it. I really don't. I did it though. I did through the entire thing. I don't know why, but sometimes my stupidity knows no bounds, and I don't know why, but I did it. I mean, look, I look so unfazed in this recording. Like, I didn't even think about it. I just did it. You see, no wonder why these hunts took so long. After another minute or two, I got knocked back by wind pressure, but luckily I didn't take any damage. But boy, I got some real life minutes shaved off my life after that heart stopped. I noticed I didn't bring the traps, so I, fast traveled back to camp just to get a shock trap, ran back and captured it. I was ecstatic and a little delirious. At this point, we've been streaming for like 4 hours, 5 hours, only doing these Monster Hunter runs, just going back and forth and failing and going everything through here. So yeah, I was a little bit delirious. But hey, we got there, and now we made it to the 3-star village quests.
We did it. It only took us almost 4 hours.
Okay, so for the next hour, I did some glorified expedition quests. I say glorified because I'm still doing normal quests, because I found out that if I do expedition quests, no matter what I pick up, even if I abandon it, it would keep in my inventory. So we actually had to start doing like actual quests in order to get some mats. So that's what we did. So I started farming up some mats, you know, but for what? Honestly, I'm looking back at what I did and I have no clue why I did it. You know, I just unlocked some 3-star village quests, but for some reason I went to a 2-star and a 1-star quest to farm mats for genuinely nothing. Like I made nothing out of this. I made no armor. I made no new weapons, no new ammo, because I started buying the ammo. I didn't even get a better weapon for the run. I just did it. You know, my honest guess looking back on this run, I needed something to win, because that Axonom he truly beat me up.
Cursed hunting ground. Those who set foot there never again are found. For when the bird wyvern comes and unleashes its breath, its virulent poison brings a swift death.
Okay, so this hunt wasn't horrible. It just shoots poison clouds at me, and then they're kind of big, so they might be hard to dodge. But, you know, besides that, it's just a Baggy and a Zuchi all over again. You know, the first run was doing great. I was doing great damage, running the ads all over and over, you know, doing great work. It was going much quicker than I thought. Then it just was said it was ready for capture, and I'm like, wait, what? It kind of like caught me off guard so much that I just let it shoot a poison cloud on me. The second attempt was luckily super short, and then I got hit. You know, I couldn't dodge since the wall was right there, and I couldn't do anything with it. You know, at the time, if I was faster, I probably could have wire bugged out, but I definitely wasn't at that skill level at that time. All right, another quick and dumb hit. On my fourth attempt, I kept my distance. I kept on using pierce ammo, trying to make sure there was distance between us, making sure the poison didn't hit me, and I just kept on shooting it and shooting it and shooting it until, you know, I did it. I captured the monster. I also found out that I can't count, but, you know, we're going to go past that point. I mean, I am a YouTuber after all. Of course I can't count. After that hunt, I ended the stream. You know, that day I was just a little too tired, and I was getting more delirious for even just starting to smack monsters in the face every time I see it. But, you know, I had a good meal that night, and I got ready for the next day.
A shallow forest stream coursing through the night. Amid the sound of water, a beast prepares to fight. Those who go in unprepared will bow before its might. Bathing in the thorns it waits, using water as its shield. Yellow collar standing proud, its fang shall never yield.
So when I hopped on stream for the next time, I just jumped right into it with zero delay. You know, that's exactly how I failed for the first go of this. You know, remember when I said the controls would mess me up? Yeah, here's one of the prime examples. Yeah, the second attempt was beyond easy. Like, I 100% could have one-cycled this person, but, you know, I just didn't know my own controls, and I completely messed up and misinput. So, yeah. We beat him pretty quickly.
A moment of peace, soon to be disturbed. A threat approaches, its hunger uncurbed. It rakes up its lunch, chows down without grace. But inside this nest, for thieves there's no place. escape or get air from its face.
One of my favorite monsters growing up, and a new map for us to explore. You know, since I have fought this monster several times in other games, I knew this guy's attack pattern, very well, and he was an easy first capture. We did some more upkeep in the village. Two things of note here. First major thing, I upgraded our light bowgun to the Azuchi 2 light bowgun. And the second thing is I upgraded all of my sticky ammo to the sticky 2 ammo, which is significantly better in damage. Except I cannot use sticky 2 with my current gun. Yep, I completely wasted all of my sticky ammo to try to get a better one without even thinking that, of course there's going to be, different ammo types for different weapons and you can't use everything. And of course I didn't check the one before I made it. So yeah, that's a waste. All right, let's go on to the next hunt.
Floating in water, it beckons silently. Once its prey approaches, there is no time to flee. Gut and strength alike. Rank among the greats. Don't get pushed out of the ring. For the abyss awaits.
Okay, so we've been burning through these last few monsters pretty quickly. So let's kind of hope that the trend of burning through these hunts continues.
No.
Yeah, that was like a shotgun. I sounded so devastated. On the second hunt, I made sure that shotgun didn't go near me, and I got this guy pretty quick. Captured and done.
The rampage is here. But there's nothing to fear. We have our trusty fortress, and its defense is top tier.
Well, I'm pretty surprised. The 3-star quest, they went by really quick, and then we got our next urgent. Unfortunately, this is the new hunt for Rise. Rampages. Okay, so think of rampages as a super watered down tower defense with really crappy rewards. When I first started doing this, I actually liked doing rampage. I thought it was a really good break from the normal hunt with plenty of action. But now I despise this mode with every little fiber of my being. Look, I know this sounds harsh, but I am not being harsh enough. See, one of the fun features to this mode is the fact that if you are standing on a platform and a monster hits anywhere on that platform, yeah, you're getting hit. So, the main thing this mode pushes is like a death trap for me to be on. So I gotta stay on the ground, not seeing anything. On my first swipe, you could actually see me being so confused on what hit me. I had no clue about the barricade thing yet. Also, since this is a tutorial and I abandoned it, it thinks that I didn't do it yet at all. So every single time I wipe from here on out, I have to do this tutorial over and over and over and over and over again. The second attempt, it was going pretty well. I was shooting the monsters, I was making sure everything was going well, but then an Axoms flies in from behind me and shoots me in the back with a fireball. I don't even know where he came from. He just bloop, bloop, and it just ruined the whole run. It sucks. See, the third try, I got to the final monster again. It hits the barricade, and then I get hit again. At least this time, I saw what happens, and I saw when the wall gets hit, and I'm standing on the wall, I get hit as well. On this fourth attempt, I played super far back. I didn't want to spend too much time on this one again. I just kept on getting that tutorial over and over and over again. And even when I was like trying to get used to this, and I had to sit through that tutorial, and it sucked because it's not a fun tutorial. This is how you shoot this. This is how you protect this. But at the end of the day, I got the major threat of the rampage, and I beat this. Cool. At this point, you would think the next batch of quests open up. Well, Not really. You still have to do a second urgent quest. See, basically, the Rampage was a waste of time, and the game didn't even consider that a true urgent quest. But after that, a bunch more people in the village gave up more quests. I did some more upkeep, looked around with the cool new armor and the new Rampage upgrades that I could put on all my weapons, as well as the new switch skill called Fanning Vault. Look, this is an amazing skill. I would eventually pick it up and eventually use it, and it would make this run so much easier. Yeah, I thought that this will put me in way too much danger, so I didn't even touch it. You know, hindsight is 2020, right?
On the road to perdition. Stands a false sentry with a devilish mission. Once it spots movement, it puts its tail in position. Its plan to pelt prey coming into fruition. For this is its territory, and there is no admission.
Okay, time for the real urgent quest. Or not. You know, I got this guy on the first try, but this also marks a very big point in this run. See, while playing this game normally, this is the farthest I've ever gotten. See, everything beyond this monster is new to me in this game. See, I don't know what monsters we'll be fighting from here on out, like, at all. I'm actually kind of excited to move forward in this challenge run, not knowing some of the monsters that I'm going to be fighting, whether they're going to be returning monsters or monsters that we've never seen before with new mechanics and new things. So after this point, I'm genuinely excited to see what's in my future. I went on a couple of quests to look for some ore to unlock a new weapon from Vishten, and we get access to, you know, more ammo and damages. And, you know, it's not a small upgrade either. See, we went from 70 damage to 100 with this new weapon. See, however, though, it does seem that we lost our tried and true slicing ammo, but we did get access to more elemental ammo. However, when I was hunting for more ore, I stepped in lava. Honestly, it wasn't really that bad. I mean, we just went back and farmed it again, and this time made sure not to step in lava.
Austere mountains, devoid of reason and laws. A rounded mass descends, made of fangs and claws. Tumbling, closer and closer. And when it unfurls, your time will be over.
Okay, so my first run went okay. However, I noticed something kind of big here. Whenever we fired a shot, the ammo hard fired to the right. Like, I had no clue why I was doing that. So in response to that, and like seeing that, you know, the ammo just wanted to go on the right, we went to farm more Dragonite because we wanted to make a different weapon. And this one is called the Sniper Shot. And I made sure it had 0 deviation. You know, it was also better in terms of damage. We went up to 115. Unfortunately, we still lose slice ammo, but now we still get the spread and the shrapnel ammo types. Since this was also a ore type weapon, our normal shots went back to being a triple shot. Okay, so back to the monster at hand. See, this run wasn't bad for our second attempt. I always had, you know, a good trap with all the mines. Whenever it started rolling towards me, it always ran into the mines because it was considered an attack, and it always staggered back and forth. So it was super easy to consistently just put a mine between me and it and get consistent damage on it. So we made it stagger, and it kind of made the hunt kind of a cakewalk, but we captured it and on to the next, really. You know, since we've done so much farming as of late, I thought it would be a good time to start looking at the armor that we have just so we could try to make a mix set. See, here I'm not really looking at armor since, you know, it's all useless, but I'd rather look at the skills they will provide. See, making the Tetradon chest gives me a skill called Normal Up, which just increases the damage of normal type ammo, and I majority use normal type ammo, so it's just beyond better. But then I started making some more ammo and more traps, as well as I made some armor for my doggos, you know, just for the fashion, you know? At the end of this, I went to the Rampage skills and put Attack Boost 2 on my Sniper Shot, which further increases the damage to 121. That's an extra 6 points of just free damage.
In the darkness of the night, fragrant blossoms bloom. As bandits prowl out of sight, a sudden resounding boom. This is not the mountain's roar. Do not be mistaken. What seemed like rocks are rocks no more. And as soon as they awaken, the monster shows its actual form. Both prey and earth are shaken.
Watching the intro to this monster, I was a little worried, you know, since he uses gases with, you know, fire and, you know, very rocky skin. Basically, if you go underneath him, you're gonna fall asleep, and then he does like this big explosion, and it's gonna be pretty hard to fight him. But, you know, I'm always thinking of the playstyle of, you know, a blade master, not a gunner. So the rocky skin didn't really go into effect as much as I thought, since, you know, by always using a charge blade as, you know, what I always use, monsters like this one are rough for them. You know, since basically any bladed weapon is gonna, like, when you hit a rock, it's gonna bounce. But, you know, as a gunner, none of that genuinely matters. Also, it's actually a rather long monster, so using piercing ammo was very, very great. See, we got him down to being capturable, but, you know, right as it happened, bang, I was close. Our second attempt wasn't bad either. See, the only rough part was after laying down a trap, I went underground and I genuinely thought it was going to be changing zones, and I'm like, well, crap. But, you know, luckily that wasn't the case, and I just walked right back into it and captured.
Got him.
With its drops, I also made pants for the ammo up skill, just making sure that I always had more ammo to shoot.
A flying shadow, stalking through the night. Silent as the wind, with eyes shining bright. Always craving blood, lightning running through its fur. When it swoops down on its prey, all becomes a blur.
Momi Mamachi. See, this first fight was very rough, but hey, I got it to flee to a new area, so I wasn't doing bad. And since I was there, I might as well get the bone pile in this area, you know? Well, next attempt was, you know, way worse. You know, I went for a cheeky mind plant, and yeah, I was kind of salty after those two back-to-back hits. I kind of gave up on Toby for now. See, for the next 30 minutes, I ran small quests, getting more mats from Renopulse. Yeah, these names are kind of difficult for me, you know, but I did it so I could get a helmet, so I could get the skill that has a pierce up. You know, it just increases my pierce damage. It's, you know, a lot of these skills are kind of self-explanatory, but, you know, it makes it so much easier to, you know, tell you what I got and be like, oh yeah.
Arid plains at night, flames billowing high. This is where she makes her realm. Best to not go nigh. Fire scorching the earth, lighting up the sky. When Her Highness sets her eyes on you, it's time to say goodbye.
finally, for this hunt, I picked up the skill Fanning Vault, realizing that I could stick my mines on the monster if I vault over it. So the thing is, in this game, there's this new damage. So back in the day, whenever you were in the air and did damage to a monster, you would do something called mounting damage. In this one, it's called wire bug damage. So anything that dealt damage in the form of a wire bug would actually help you with the mount. And with this one, the mines count as wire bug damage. So if I throw a mine on a back and I shoot it, I will do consistent wire bug damage in order to, mount the monster. And the thing is, not only that, it does give me a decent amount of damage. With this big upgrade in damage and the skill, we were able to get this hunt done with only a couple calls, and we got it done. Captured.
Yeah.
A miraculous spring, clear as children's song. Deep runs its stream, elegant but strong. A lullaby is sung, soft sounds of seduction. Its dulcet tones inducing sleep and serpentine destruction.
This is a newer monster for me, but it's another quick beast that moves around the area. The thing is though, it could leap long distances, shoot a breath attack that makes you fall asleep. I had to be a little bit more cautious here, but once I was able to capture it, I put the trap a little bit further away from it, and then at that point it went to a new zone. So literally the trap that I just set down just went to waste. The thing is about these traps is if you put a trap down, you can't put another trap down of the same type. So by putting down this trap, I actually have to go back, destroy it, and then get a new one. So basically this whole trap is a complete waste. But after that, I finally did break my old trap. I went to the new spot where the monster was this time. I put it down, lured it in, and captured. Pretty easy. At this point, I had one more hunt until my next urgent quest. But I had to choose, and it's going to be a hard one to choose. See, either I could choose Toby, a fast, agile, all-around dumb squirrel, or Barioth, a fast, agile beast of a monster. Neither of them are great choices. Both of them are hard in their own respects. See, in all the other games I've played against Tobi-Kadachi, he is always my bane. The thing is, I don't know why. I could beat monsters like Tobi-Kadachi, I could beat other monsters that are harder than Tobi-Kadachi, but Toby himself, every single time, I always fail with him, and I don't know why. I don't know what's going on with Toby, and I don't know what the stupid thing I had. So you know what, I have a choice here. I could choose the thing that is the bane of my existence, or I could choose something that's still just as rough. So what did I choose? Of course Toby. I mean, why not?
No!
Yeah, dude, that was a terrible decision. Toby just sucks.
A biting cold, freezing winds cutting deep. Enter its domain, and the price will be steep. Don't fall for the charm of its shining white gown, for it will tear you up before taking you down.
Okay, we're gonna change gears. See, this one is an angry boy. He moves fast, throws ice tornadoes all over the place, and when you can't see because of the ice tornadoes, he jumps from behind that in order to hit you. See, even small movements of the head counts as a hit. So all in all, I think this was the better choice. Toby is my bane. This guy is a little rough, but maybe
No! We're gonna do...
Yeah, okay, so at this point, sunk cost fallacy kicked in. But you know, I called it for a day at that time. You know, I was super tired. I was getting, you know, carded after carded after carded and abandoned quest after abandoned quest. So you know what? I'm super tired. I'm gonna, you know, beat it the next day. So I woke up and we did it. We were like, all right, cool. We could do this. Don't want. Yeah, okay, I lied. He was tough. He was very tough. Like I ran Barioth for an hour after hour, fail after fail. You know, I needed a break, and you know, between the two, I had either Barioth or, you know, Toby. So I chose Toby again. And like, I mean, that's kind of how desperate I was at this point. I'm so tired of fighting this stupid like leopard thing, that saber-toothed leopard. It feels like I was just like, I'm gonna go back to this dumb electric squirrel. That's genuinely just how desperate I was here. See, some good news out of this though. During all the runs of Barioth, I got so much better at dodging and learning how to properly mount in Rise. See, I started to learn how to use my wire bugs more effectively as well. There's a move that if you light bowgun, you're able just to slide to the left to like dodge everything. I rarely used it, but it was something I started trying to use. But even with all of that, on the second attempt, we got a great start with the mount. You know, as well as some poison damage with the Great Roggy. I stayed super far away and just burned him down. Then he finally went to a new area and started resting. I could not pass this up. I had the chance to put down a trap and I was going to take it. And boom, I captured it. Oh my gosh, you don't... See, look, it took me a grand total of 7 tries to get Tobi-Kadachi. Sadly though, that is less than the first day of Barioth. Who would have thought that, you know, this one stupid Bane monster I would finish before I would finish the Barioth? No, either way, that's the last key quest before the urgent, and I just couldn't be happier, like at all. Like I was done with this, or so I thought.
A grudge towards all life, given form in flame. Stalks unsuspecting creatures. That it seeks to maim. Its prey turns round to face it, preferring a hero's death. Knowing that this purple fire will steal its final breath. Pray for its soul. For this creature of pure evil shall swallow the world whole.
Boy, Magna Malo. Yeah, this one was a tough one. See, this monster feels like it has the speed and agility of Toby, the aggression of Barioth, and the size of the Basarios. You know, all wrapped together with the temperament of a fucking chihuahua. He fires fireballs and lasers at you that cover the entire arena in seconds. See, we're gonna take a quick break here. Let's see how fun this one was.
the satellites explode. It must be bad news overload. Then we salute eternity and pay our final bill. This is the end of the world. 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 You should do what is right. And stay on the fight for as long as you can. This is just the beginning, 'cause nothing ever really ends. This is the end of the world. This is the end of the world.
See, I'm not sure if you caught that. That was 24 resets. 24! That's so crazy. Like, literally, some of those times during those resets, I decided that, you know, maybe, just maybe, I shouldn't wear these giant blocky shoulders in order to block my vision. So I went back and I got some layered armor. Literally, the layered armor does literally nothing to any of the gameplay. It just makes it where I have a slimmer body, and that's like genuinely it. I just wanted to see what was in front of me, because those shoulders got me killed on like 2 occasions because I didn't see the tail spinning up and just slapping me. After those wipes, I was just looking for any bit of edge, so I started using traps and bombs at every opportunity. Like, even before like the fight even started, I went to it, I laid down a trap, I put 2 large barrel bombs on it, made him walk into it, and just blew up the bombs, trying to do any little bit of damage. So I kept on using mounts, I kept on using bombs, I kept on even using my skills, and then even at some points, whenever a new monster came by, I tried to use that monster to do damage to it as well. Like, I tried everything. But you know what? I came up with an idea. During these runs, whenever you're, you know, hitting other monsters with it or hitting the monster on the wall, there's a chance for it to drop its items. And I'm like, you know what? If I do this enough times and I pick up enough of these items and I leave, not abandon the quest, just leave, I'll be able to keep the items here. So maybe, just maybe, I could get some better weapons or maybe some armor in order to fight the monster more effectively, right? So after that, I tried a little bit more stuff and I got enough materials and I made the Jaeger 1. You know, that further increased my damage to 131 and gave us the normal 3 ammo. That's significantly better than what we had before. Okay, so with all of this, I got my confidence. We could do this. I am so sure we got this.
Yeah, no.
Okay, on our 29th attempt, I went in and I gave it everything I got. We bomb trapped it to start the fight. We had the trap ready to go, got the bombs ready to go, it fell in, awesome. But while it was trapped, we started using the switch skill to jump over it to plant bombs on its back. We really wanted that quick mount, you know? So after that was done, we threw 2 mines on it. We got piercing ammo to go from the head to the tail so we could hit it multiple times, always making sure that we're hitting the bombs in the process. See, we also started using the endemic life a little bit more, not as well as I do now, but at least some of the ones that would make our crit damage go higher. Because we were doing so much damage to it, we were able to get it to topple several times. And when it did topple, we just ran over to it as quick as we could to use our switch skill. You know, I wanted to make sure those bombs were there, trying to get more and more mounts. I think we got a max of both mounts on this monster as a single person. I was so focused. Before I followed to the new zone, I went to the main camp to re-up on more ammos and more traps and more bombs so we could bomb trap it again, you know? There's a move that he just jumps up into the sky and dive bombs you. And even at this time, where if you're like focused on your armor, there's a good chance that you could be one shot by this move. I call it the meteor strike. I don't know what it's really called, but one of the best ways to dodge it is to jump on your dog's back and run towards the monster. So you can just barely dodge the hit. See, the area that I was at was very narrow and very cramped, and this monster was large, so it took over almost all of it, like 90% of the hallway. So I'm like, you know what? It's not even worth it to fight here. I'm gonna go off and I'm gonna wait for it to go to a new zone. As we were waiting for it to go to a new zone, I went up to the very top of the map. And on that point, you're able to look down and look at the zone where the monster's in. At this point, I have fainted 28 times. This is my 28th attempt. I am tired. This has been an annoying monster to fight, and I just needed a little bit of air. So as I'm standing atop this, I'm just looking down and, you know, breathing, getting my nerves back, ready to go, making sure that, you know, before I even fight this monster, that it's not going to be enraged. But then I did it. I jumped down and I started getting back into that fight. And I just kept on shooting it, just kept on bombing it, and I just kept on going and going and going until I saw that it was weak enough to be captured. And I was beyond excited. All of the stuff, just everything was tensing up, and I just ran. I ran away. And my hope was just maybe it will go to a new area to find some food or rest. And during that time, it would give me that little bit of moment in order to put down a trap underneath its feet and try to trank it. And you know what? That gamble paid off. I came back and he was asleep. Like, this was the best moment and the best time. However, I did notice that the capturable symbol was no longer there, so I was a little worried. I put down the trap, I got it shocked, I shot 2 trank shots at it, and get captured. Oh my gosh, I did it. I can't believe I did it. I captured the monster, and I'm so excited. I was so nervous. I thought I was gonna have to shoot some normal shots in order just to get it beneath that threshold again. But no, it took me 29 runs of this monster just to beat it. But I got it, and I couldn't be prouder. But something happened that I didn't expect after this. What's this? A pretty cutscene. All right, well, I'm kind of used to the cutscenes. I mean, once you go from low rank to high rank, there's always something that, you know, has to connect both of the storylines and both of the things, but this one seems a little bit different. Wait, the credits, they're rolling. See, I'm so confused. You know, normally this is when I go to high rank and then I get more monsters and more weapons, but I guess this is it. So now we could actually answer that one question that we asked at the start. Can you beat Monster Hunter Rise without taking any damage? Yeah. This was a long journey for me, and actually a very emotional one. You know, since this was the first ever challenge run that I genuinely thought of and actually completed, which means I am a tech. I'm now officially a challenge runner. See, this was a hard challenge, especially for my first one, but you know, I'm genuinely happy that I did it. And super happy that all of you were here to see it. Thank you so much. Okay, so quick bonus here. I was super happy that we finished, but here's a few things that I wanted to do. See, we got some new monsters that we unlocked, so rapid fire time. The first monster I tried was Rathalos. Yeah, I failed that one and I attempted it only once. No, we're done with these flying guys. No. Next, Anjanath. He was super easy. You know, I ran it once and I got a super quick capture. I mean, I played it in Worlds. This guy wasn't that rough. I mean, I'm genuinely surprised we weren't fighting, you know, the Fulgur one, you know? Next, Nargacuga. Yeah, this was the complete opposite of easy. It took me 11 tries to actually capture this one. You know, genuinely glad that I didn't need to take him in the main challenge, because that would have sucked. Next, Mitsusune, or however you say it, the soap monster. You know, this one wasn't super hard. It did take me 9 tries to complete, so it was still relatively difficult, but the water that it shoots was the bane of my existence. It was terrible. He was able to slide along and just shoot this water jet, and it just sucked. Next. Okay, so we're gonna try Rathalos one more time. I don't know why. He's a dick of a monster. Like, literally, this guy adds 19 more tries. 19 more. So that's a grand total of 20 tries on this one monster. Again, I can't. Next. Zinogre. Yeah, I thought this was gonna be just as bad as Magnamalo. You know, it's literally the same monster type. But no, it only took me 2 tries to beat. Yeah, that was pretty cool. Oh, wait, there's another urgent? Oh, cool. Let's wreck it. This one is definitely a different type of monster. It seemed like it was an otter mixed with the snake. It really loved to hide its body underground and then switch its head with its tail, which made it very hard to get any type of knockout damage. See, even the skill that we're so used to using at this point, the fanning vault, yeah, it was kind of useless here. Whenever I tried to use it, it always just switched its head and tail, which made it go underground, which made us kind of like miss every single mine that we had. See, it also uses like waves of hot mud, and it flings mud at you and it hurts you, and its tail flings at you. It's such a longer range than what it used to. Like, this guy was rough. But even with all of that, I still had to reset this fight 15 times. 3 more tries and captured. I did it. That's awesome. But yeah, after that, there was no more new quests in the village. All the key quests were done. All the urgent quests were done. I got this special license quest, but that takes you into the multiplayer, and that's kind of it. At this point, I was tired, so I decided to call the challenge here. I even went a little bit over and beyond what I normally did. So even with all of that, I was actually able to complete all of the village urgent quests damage list. So it's over, and I'm finally done with Rise. It's a little bittersweet. It took me a long time to do this. Looking back at the footage, it's looking that I have 20 hours worth of footage with just me fighting monsters. And that's a lot of time to just dedicate to this run. So it is very bittersweet just calling it done. I mean, at the same point, we completed it. It's not a fail, and I'm really happy. It's kind of sad to leave this game, you know? But thank you for everyone who watched this. It's taken me so long to finish this video, and the script, I am terrible at scripts. This is like genuinely one of the worst things that, like, one of the worst skills that I have. It's terrible, but I'm glad that I did it, and I'm glad that I got it out. It took me so much time to write and edit this, so I really hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, don't forget to leave a like and drop a sub. See, my goal is to make at least 1 video a month with these types of challenges in other games. So if you have some ideas on what to do next, don't forget to also comment down below. See, I also stream on Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays from 10 to 3 over at twitch.tv/Amantech. See, the challenge run that we're going to be doing next is the Sniper Elite Ghost Warrior contracts. Can you beat this game with only a crossbow? I already did it. I just need to write the script and get everything done, kind of similar to, you know, what I did here. But yeah, I'm super excited for it, and hopefully see you then. Have a great day, everyone.